So this is probably one of the most sporadic and impulsive things I've ever done. So much so from the initial point of yes, I'll buy it, to getting the money out of the ATM and then purchasing and doing the handover of this figure was about an hour and a half. But yeah, I bought a bootleg Joker figure. It's actually pretty good. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Cosplay Chris. And as the title suggests, I bought myself a bootleg Joker figure to review and show you guys. This is from a third-party / unlicensed company called Fire Toys. Fire Toys. Genius. So I have always been fascinated with third-party / unlicensed companies reproducing and recasting licensed figures. Case in point, Hot Toys and Enterbay. So what I'm doing today is showing you guys a bootleg quarter-scale Joker figure that is a direct recast of the Enterbay Joker quarter-scale figure, which I have owned. So much so, I actually did a review video on it a year and a half after starting this channel. Here is a little clip from said review to show you guys the actual official figure itself, and then we're gonna compare it to this third-party, unlicensed, recasted bootleg figure.
This figure pretty much speaks for itself. In my opinion, this is probably one of the most fitting tributes to an actor, living or dead. In this case, as we all know, Heath Ledger was tragically taken from us, and I think this figure is a fitting send-off. It is perfect in every shape, way, and form. It's everything you want in a Joker figure. The tailoring is absolutely to its best perfection ever. Everything is there. This is a multi-layered suit. The screen use suit is pretty much the exact same. Everything matches up. You've got his vest, you've got his blazer, you've got the overcoat, the tie. He's even got suspenders, for Christ's sake. He's even got that little button missing in the middle of his green vest. Every detail is here and has not been skipped. Look, he's even got shoelaces.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I regret selling my Enterbay figure. I regret selling a lot of my figures, but if you're a hardcore collector in general, you know that sometimes you gotta sell figures to fund other figures, other projects, stuff like that. And with the Enterbay figure, he was beautiful. I also had the Enterbay Batman Begins figure, also had the Enterbay T800 Terminator figure, and he was badass. So I had a hankering to get another Heath Ledger Joker figure because I had actually sold my Hot Toys one to help fund the screen used Robin suit. Again, when you're a collector, you kind of have to do this. You kind of got to sell things to fund other things, and the cycle continues and goes on. So I reached out to a person who deals with a lot of Hot Toys, stuff like that, and I said, do you have the Hot Toys Ledger Joker in stock? He goes, yeah, I do, but I've only got like the exclusive version, which I had. He goes, it's about $950, and he's like, have you heard of the Fire Toys quarter scale Joker? He goes, it's a recast of the Enterbay figure and it's only $400. I go, do you have photos? Do you have a link? So he linked me up with an unboxing video that some fella did in Japan, I think. And I was looking at the figure and I'm thinking, this actually looks really good. So I got back to him, I said, I'm actually really keen, $400. That's pretty damn good because at the moment, Enterbay Joker figures are going, and I kid you not, from between 900 Australian dollars to 2,600 Australian dollars. I figured if it's one of those things, if the figure ends up being shit, well, it'll be good for the memes. So I said, yep, I'll come get it. He had it ready to be picked up, went and got the cash out, went and exchanged it, got it home, and it's really good. It's actually really good. So much so, the paint job on the face is a little bit better than the Enterbay Joker. I never thought I'd say that. So what I'm gonna do is do a step-by-step, show you guys the box. The box art is beautiful. It's the best box art I've ever fucking seen in my life. I'm then gonna show you guys all the accessories. Again, these are recasts of the Enterbay accessories. Granted, he does not come with a base at all, but I'll show you the base that I'm using. I'm making a little custom one at the moment with one of those boxes from Bunnings that I've used a lot in custom collectibles. And then I'm gonna show you the figure himself. I've seen other reviews of third-party collectibles, not just from Fire Toys, but other companies out there. And they actually look pretty good. And I just wanted to have one in hand, especially when it came to having a quarter-scale Joker figure. And it actually turned out really nice. So again, it's one of those things where if you're jonesing for it, go for it. If you're not, that's totally your thing. Go with the licensed stuff. So without further ado, let's get to the review and check this bad boy out. Okay, here's the box and the box art in all its glory. Again, some of the best bootleg box art I've ever seen. The colors are very washed out. You've got the Why So Serious teaser poster that we saw back in the day when The Dark Knight was gearing up to be released. And then on the other side, we have the iconic poster with the burning building minus Christian Bale's Batman there. So it has the Fire Toys logo, A030. This is apparently their first ever quarter scale figure. They do specialize in 1/6 figures. But I just want to draw your attention to down here. Now you notice down the bottom there, it says 1/6 scale collectible figure made in China. And then we pan across here and it says 1/4 scale. What is going on? Now before we move on to the accessories, I want to show you guys the foam stackers that it comes in. So obviously the figure comes in there with the hands, and then we've got all room for the accessories. But just look at that beautiful hot glue job. It's marvelous, absolutely marvelous. Like, this is great. I love this. This is brilliant. Alrighty, here are the accessories. Now, keep in mind, like I said, this figure does not come with a display stand / base, which is totally fine. And you guys will see what I'm using as a base for him in a moment, but let's go over the accessories. Again, these are all recast pieces of the Enter Bay accessories. So let's start up here. We have his rocket launcher. Now, everything is very heavy duty. It's amazing the detail that is in a bootleg figure, or, you know, I say bootleg, but keep in mind, you know, it's third party, unlicensed, but it's a recast. So to me, that's as bootleg as it gets. So rocket launcher, perfect. We've got the shotgun, has the pump action, everything exactly like the Enter Bay one. We do have his handgun, and then the clip does come out, and you can pull the hammer back, exactly like the Enter Bay one, which is very cool. Just the crazy attention to detail, even in a cheaper figure like this, is ridiculous. With his beautiful pocket knife there. We have the machine gun that he uses when he plays chicken with Batman. Again, the clip does come out with a bit of force, and you can pull that piece back like so. This has die cast elements to it. This piece, that piece, the shotgun, and also the rocket launcher. It's crazy. We also have the hand accessories here. It's funny, there isn't a fourth ungloved hand. I don't know, I don't actually remember if that was how the Enter Bay one was, but we have this hand here that coincides with the grenades here that go in his side breast pocket of his jacket, and there's the panel that you can put inside his jacket there to house the grenades, and then obviously the string tip goes on his index finger like so. This one also came with the bank robber clown mask from the beginning of the film, which is pretty cool. You can have that like resting on the base or whatever, or actually have Heath wearing it. We've got some Joker cards here. Now one is missing because the way I've posed him, he's holding one, and you guys will see that in a moment when we do the figure reveal. But yeah, these are the accessories. This piece here, I honestly forget what this was off. I think this goes on the rocket launcher, I think. I don't know. This actually looks like the zipline device that you use as Batman in the Arkham games. It's weird. But overall, really impressed with these accessories. The detail is crazy. Some parts are die cast, and yeah, it's really well done. All of them. This really does have some hefty weight to it. It's crazy. Like granted, you know, you could paint them up here and there and do a bit of sprucing up, especially with like the actual rocket itself. But other than that, these are a winner. And without further ado, here is the figure himself. First thoughts, I love him. He's actually really gorgeous. Like really, really good for the price as well. I hate to admit it, but even the tailoring is beautiful. All right, let's zoom in and check out the head sculpt as well as the tailoring. Now remember I said at the beginning of the video, I actually think the paintwork on this is a little bit better than the Enter Bay one. I still stand by it. There's something about that translucency where you can kind of see Heath's flesh color bleeding through the white clown makeup. I've always loved. I hate it when it's very caked on and too white and too clownish, if that makes sense. But again, this is a recast of the Enter Bay Joker. They've obviously recast the head here, and you can see a bit of a ugly seam line here on his hair, which doesn't really bother me. Look, it'd be one of those things where I maybe might have a crack at putting rooted hair in. If not, send it to someone who specializes in doing rooted real hair. I think it would look great. And the tailoring. The tailoring is absolutely beautiful. And also keep in mind, remember I said one of the Joker cards is missing because I was utilizing it for this. I love this pose. This is just a cool kind of museum pose. Obviously you've got the other accessories to utilize, but I just think this is nice, simple, classic, and very Heath Ledger Joker. But yeah, the tailoring is great. The material is great. There is a bit of futzing required with like the tie and his button-up shirt and also his vest. Everything just kind of needs a bit of fidgeting with, as with any figure when you usually get it out of the box, but geez man, like it's crazy. I'm absolutely blown away by something that is from a third party, unlicensed and recast figure. It's crazy. Give you guys a good look down there. I do think his legs may be a little bit too long. That could just be me. Like if we zoom out, like Heath was a tall guy, but not overly tall. Look, it doesn't look too bad there. I just think his legs may be a little bit too gangly. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Like I said, Heath was a tall guy and he was like a gangly, lanky fella. Like he wasn't the most muscular bloke in the world. But I think it looks all right. And I do love the height of the Entebbe Joker as opposed to the Hot Toys quarter scale Joker. He was smaller, whereas the Entebbe one had that nice height to him. And it was great. And they've kind of married that up here. But I just feel he's just a little bit longer here, which doesn't really matter. Like, it still works for me. But man, look at that. Like this is technically a bootleg figure and the paint job looks a little bit better than the Entebbe. Again, that's just my opinion. You guys may think otherwise. If you still have the Entebbe Joker in hand and you can compare it, or you can compare it to that clip I showed you from my original review of the Entebbe Joker, you may think otherwise, but for now, like this is killer. This is a great figure. So overall guys, very surprised with the outcome of this. Again, this is one of those things where I'm not endorsing everyone go out and buy third-party unlicensed products. This is one of those things where I had the opportunity to get one. It was $400. These guys range between $350 to $400. I figured it'd be a good little experiment to see if these things hold up, if they're good, or if they're just absolute dog shit. But in this case, he's actually really good. If that's your thing, if you're more than happy to go out there and get those third-party unlicensed figures, then absolutely go for it. It is definitely a cheaper alternative, and I've always been fascinated by the idea of a figure that is a third-party company, unlicensed. I don't know how the hell they do it. So guys, drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts if you've ever had experience with, you know, the third-party unlicensed figures. Do you own some and what are your thoughts on them? And do they hold up to the original, if not better? I'm genuinely curious because I was really blown away by the paint job on this guy. It's ridiculous. Actually, a few gripes with this figure. The joints. The joints are very all over the place. Some are really tight, others are really loose. Like his right knee here will buckle at the slightest breeze ever. So he is just perfectly balancing. As you see right here, I'm using one of those MDF boxes from Bunnings Warehouse. I want to do like a little road setting here, maybe with some money on it and stuff like that. But he definitely needs a peg to hold his leg, much like the Entebbe one where it had that kind of grappling hook on his leg and it just held him in place. So this figure definitely needs it. So thanks very much for watching guys. Thank you for putting up with my stupid shenanigans and listening to me ramble about a bootleg Joker figure. Never thought I'd say that. Guys, wherever you're on the world, please have yourselves an absolute cracker of a day. I hope you're well, hope you're happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best. Yep, there you go.